What's up, YouTube? All right, here we go. The PENTAX D FA 100 millimeter f2.8 macro. I've done some preliminary testing. What is this lens really like? There's been some statements from other users and other reviewers stating that there's a lot of purple fringing on this lens, which yeah, there is. I was disappointed about that. However, I did come to a conclusion after doing some shooting. I just shot some icicles and just changed the settings. When you do stop it down, the purple fringing just absolutely disappears entirely. So once, because it is macro, you generally will have to stop down the lens in order to actually get a good enough depth of field, because the depth of field on a macro lens, because you're focusing so close, is super razor thin. So I'm just going to show the images and do some explaining in regards to the images and my findings. And overall, yeah, I'm happy that I got this lens. I am really happy that I got this lens. It is super ultra sharp. And let's just get on to the images. But before we get into the images, I just want to show you something regarding this lens. So when you're actually using the lens, you will have to either remove the lens hood entirely or place the lens hood as it should be mounted. You can't have it reversed, because here's the focus ring, right? So if you do have it reversed, it's completely covering the focus ring. You have no access to the focusing whatsoever at all. And plus the fact that the lens does extend as you're focusing, right? So that would cause an issue as well. That alone just looks really bizarre. It just looks bizarre. So you will have to either use the lens with no hood. I suggest you do use the lens hood on the lens all the time. Therefore, it's always covered, right? So you don't get any side light coming in. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the images.
Okay, so let's take a look at the image quality here. Now, with this icicle, and before you all freak out, yes, I know this does have some motion blur on it. I apologize about that. I wasn't using a tripod. Where this actual icicle was, there was no room for a tripod, so I was trying to do it handheld. But just bear with me. Whether or not it was actually 100 million% in focus or not is besides the point. The purple fringing is still there, and that's what we're focusing on here. So it doesn't seem too bad on the surface. You can see a bit of purple fringing along the sides here and down this left side here, and then there's some more along the right side. Now when we zoom in, you'll see what I mean. So let's go to 100, and you can see there's purple fringing everywhere along here. And if you look over on the right side of the screen here, you'll see the shooting information. So I shot at f2.8. Right? Now let's go to f8. I believe that one was f8. Nope, this was also f2.8. So let's see. Yep, you can see more purple fringing all along here. All along here. All these high contrast areas, there's a lot of purple fringing. And then when we go to f13, there's none. No purple fringing whatsoever. You even have the specular highlight. I know this is blown out, but I was really pushing it to see if there was purple fringing. And as I said, once you stop it down, the purple fringing is completely and utterly gone. Let's go down to this one here. This one's a good comparison. So here's f2.8. And you can see that there is purple fringing right along this area here, and a little bit over here. Maybe a tad in the section there and up here as well. It's a tad bit of purple fringing. Let's go to the next image here. So this is the same icicle at f8. And let's zoom in. We'll go to 200. And as I said, the purple fringing is completely and utterly gone. Completely and utterly gone. And between these two shots, this was at 15:30, and the time on this one was 15:29. So 30 seconds, pretty much. About 30 seconds in between each shot here. Okay, maybe a minute. But you can see from the two shots, the lighting was pretty much the same, just plain. The out of focus area is beautifully smooth and out of focus, which everyone has said that this lens does do a remarkable job with that, and I have to agree. And then in here, this was at f13, I believe. Yep, this one perfectly nailed. So this is how sharp this lens can actually be. You can see the inside of the icicle in every single little swirl of detail and the little specular starbursts here. And I'm not sure if this is a slight tad bit of purple fringing or if it actually was color cast coming out of the crystallized areas from within the actual icicle. But this is basically, it is a super sharp lens. Once you nail it, it is intensely sharp. And when it's stopped down, as you should be stopped down when you are doing macro photography, the purple fringing really isn't an issue. It seems to only be an issue the closer you get to the lens being wide open. And of course, wide open at f2.8, the purple fringing is just crazy. It's all over the place. But other than that, this is a really, really wonderful lens to shoot with. It's a lot of fun. I've been walking around just looking for things to shoot, and I'll be posting up some other videos with images I've shot, as I get more used to this lens. One thing I did notice with the lens, though, is the fact that catch and focus is not a possibility because there is no autofocus, manual focus switch on the lens itself. So you have to put it into focus priority, and then you can actually cheat and just use the manual focus, and then once the camera triggers the focus, it'll actually shoot.
So there you have it. That is my initial thoughts and image quality assessment on the PENTAX D FA 100 f2.8 macro. Overall, it is a really great lens. The purple fringing, yes, I know, like on the surface, it seems like it's a big deal, but in actual usage, when you're actually doing the macro photography and you are stopping down, it actually isn't an issue. And the out of focus areas are absolutely phenomenally blurred out. The bokeh is amazing. With that said, it's a very lightweight lens. It's compact, very compact. Small 49 millimeter filter diameter, and it's a really fun lens to shoot with, and it's super tack sharp when you nail it right. So just as a general lens, it's phenomenal, even on an APS-C, well, obviously on an APS-C camera. On a full frame camera, you would just get a wider angle of view, but it is a pretty versatile focal length, and for the macro, it's amazing. So there you have it. If you like the video, leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Helps me out. If you put a thumbs down on the video, at least take the time to express why. That's it. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you want to support the channel, I'll leave that information at the bottom of the description. And I'm gonna go. Catch you guys next time. You'll see me on my next video. I'm out.